Hello, everybody. Hi, guys. So getting used to my double computer operation here. Let's make sure we got audio. Is the audio turned up on this TV? It is, everybody. There it is, and there it was. Alrighty. I am Coach Steve Money, and I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. How about that? The screen I wanted to be on. You're watching this on youtube.com/coachstevemoney. And for my other financial content, you can just scroll past the Oak Island playlist. New episode tonight. I'll be recapping it late tonight. The Ramsey Show Aftershow is this show, and today is number 516 of those. And the answering your financial questions, I do this sometimes on the weekends. And I did the last one 2 days ago on Saturday. Answering your financial questions, where I don't talk about the market unless it's specifically asking a question. I don't do articles or talk about anything I want to talk about. Basically, I just answer questions on the Answering Your Financial Questions stream. And again, that's on the weekends, 4 p.m. Eastern time, and as long as I can still do an after show every Monday through Friday, every day. I probably won't be doing many of those weekend streams, but I might. You never know. If you are subscribed and you click the bell, you should be notified whenever I go live. And the music playlist has 12 Ramsey adjacent songs in there, just like How to Do the Baby's Dibs Right. And that uses the music from and lyric styling from the phrase How to Save a Life. Excellent song. Market report. Oh, you can do what I'm doing right now, is you can click on that thumbs up. That is the like button, and that lets the algorithm know that you like it. Where are we at here? Oh, okay, so another down day today. A little more down than normal, I would say, and that may be how it goes for a while. Now, on Friday, the NASDAQ was actually barely up, but my large cap managed funds were all up over 1%. So it was like just barely over 0% change on Friday, the NASDAQ was, but my managed funds were all over 1% for the Friday. Now, of course, they have been down when the rest of the market was completely down. And so I'll take a look at it later and see what it is compared to this 2.15% down today. But you can find managed funds that do beat these indexes for sure. Just don't be lazy. Apple down almost 5%. Anything else? Microsoft on the low end down less than 1%. And Tesla down almost 5% as well, but that's not out of the ordinary for Tesla to be up or down a difference of the highest amount of difference. Okay, so we got Europe positive today. How about that? And a good day for them, looks like. Everything is over 2. That's great. It hadn't been like the last few days. The rest of the world markets have been down too. I guess they decided to not be upset about it anymore. Asia, everything up again. And I guess, it seems reasonable that people would think, oh, well, if the President of the United States is going to do that, going to do the tariffs, then we'll be able to sell more of our stuff, of what they're selling people now. So that does make perfect sense. And that is what that is. Yeah, 1 point something But this Nick, I don't know what type of funds these are though. Like what kind of indexes these would compare to. Let's check out that U.S. dollar. The euro is up over it. Japanese yen is up over it. The British pound love is up over it. But sorry, Canada. Sorry, U.S. dollar above you, and also Australia, NAR, U.S. dollar higher. So still got the dollar hanging in there. And we have on again the 11th, JP Morgan and Chase reporting. No other reports listed here. All right, and stocks off from 5 hours ago off to a major bounce back. That was 5 hours ago though. So, oh yeah, let's look at the futures. See what the futures are like. Yeah, just down. That might over almost 2% for the Nas. S&P a little less than almost 2, and just over 1% down for the Dow for tomorrow. But again, all that could change by the opening bell tomorrow. See what we got from the news from Yahoo News. Coca-Cola and PepsiCo forced to change packaging after new government mandate. We may have to take legal recourse. And is that our government? India is taking bold steps to reduce plastic waste with a new rule requiring beverage giants to use recycled materials in their packaging. Okay, so is this new plastic that they use? They don't use any recycled plastic? Starting April 1st, 2025, companies such as Coca-Cola and PepsiCo must exclusively use PET bottles. Don't know what the PET means. Previously engaged, I don't know what that could mean, with at least 30% recycled plastic content. All right. So when I saw this, I didn't know that that's what this article was about. I assumed it would be because they're thinking, oh, well, that some of that plastic is getting absorbed into the drink itself. And so you're being now, if you got 100% recycled bottle, how do they get these pictures if they don't already use them? So that's weird too. So I'm totally lost on this story, but not going to read the whole thing to figure out what's going on here. But it looks like they're already doing it, but it may not be for all the bottles. And these look like they might be. Are these the 16 ounce? Let's see. Oh, 20 fluid ounce bottles. Yeah. So these are the like individual serving bottles, and they probably want them to use it for the liter and the 2 liter as well. From Kiplinger.com. Lowe's stores closing all locations for 24 hours. Those would close all those retail locations and contact center for 1 day in April. And I did skim through this one, and it's Easter. They're closed for Easter Sunday. They have been for the last 6 years, every Easter Sunday. So why is that news? They just want you to click on it. And so they won because I clicked on it. So anyway, yes, they're closing for Easter. And a lot of companies do that. Let's look at some questions. Reddit.com/r/Dave Ramsey. This forum is run by fans, this subreddit. And if you want a group that's run by Ramsey Solutions, you would go to Facebook and you would search for the Ohio State University, the Ramsey Baby Steps community. And if it doesn't say those words exactly, then it's not run by Ramsey Solutions. There are a bunch of different groups on the Facebook, and the last time I checked, of course, it was 2 or 3 years ago. There were even 3 different Ramsey dating sites on it. However, and interestingly, most of the people on there were married and weren't looking to date. They were just, I guess, trying to be involved with more Ramsey people. Alrighty, let's see. First question is from Wash Florida, FL. Don't know what that is. Stock market decline. Yes, as we said, do most of you have when the market takes a fast deep dive as it has in the past few days? Well, I mean, this, can almost certainly point to the tariffs brought on by President Trump. Some would say a lot. Oh, and it's been locked because it got contentious in there. People arguing back and forth about that. And of course, you're going to get any kind of political argument. You're going to get liberals just saying orange man bad, without actually addressing the actual issue. But other countries, we subsidize other countries in a lot of ways, and not charging them tariffs when they charge us tariffs would be one of those ways. And, it is out of balance the way it is. And maybe what's been put in place now is also out of balance. But I believe there will be negotiations. President Trump said no negotiations, but one thing is certain: all politicians lie about stuff. That much is certain. Let's see. Yes, even your side lies. Yes, absolutely. They're all politicians. That's part of it. So what mindset do you take as it has in the past few days? I don't think it's the end times for the Roman Empire. I don't think that. So it always comes back and goes to a new high, and if it doesn't this time, it would be the first time. And so that I don't know what to say about that, other than if that happens, you got more problems than retirement. Let's see. It is truly depressing to see the accounts go down. Yes, the account goes down, but you don't lose any money unless you sell. That's the thing to remember. And the thing to not, you also have to, but see, you gotta take that both ways. So also, guess what? If it is up 100,000%, you don't have that money either until you cash out, because it could always go down from there. That would be an unrealized gain. And of course, the liberals want to charge you for tax on unrealized gains. But then how is that going to work if then the market goes down? Are they going to give you a refund on that because of the unrealized losses? So that's dumb as crap. So I think that was voted down I don't think it ever got past committee meeting for that. But we'll see on that. They won't stop trying. But anyway, let's see where we. So you gotta not sell. You don't sell. There was a gentleman that called the Ramsey show today, and if you are in a situation where you are going to be retiring in the next few years, then yeah, maybe you want to move it. Maybe you want to move some of it anyway to a high yield savings account, something that it was going to be less volatile in these times. So there wouldn't be any shame on that. And Dave actually recommended that the gentleman actually put his retirement savings into a high yield savings account instead of dealing with this market. So, and that, if you sleep better at night, even if you end up actually losing money, leaving money on the table by moving it to the high yield savings account, and then the market comes back, like if you're still buying right now, you're buying it on super sale, and if it goes back up to a new high, you made a lot of money. And then it'll seem dumb that you put it in the high yield savings account, but we don't know. Nobody knows the future. Let's see. I've done so far. Yes, seen it before. Yes, we have seen it before with the Pandy crash. Recovered in 6 months. And people were thinking, oh, no, it's going to take years to recover. And that was bullcrap. Let's see. At what point, if ever, do you just give up and put all the accounts in money markets instead of like a high yield savings account? I'm a senior citizen, okay, and so that might be a time where you would do that. I understand. where you're like, especially if you're no longer earning money and investing, and you want to make sure all of that money stays that you have, that you haven't lost so far, which you've already lost some. So you got to consider that as well. So if you don't let it come back, you're definitely out that money. But you can put it in a high yield savings account. Let's see, but I don't see a need to access my mutual funds for about 10 years. Okay. So if you got 10 years, you would think it would clear up by then. So, but it's, that's going to be something up to you. So, I mean, if you're a senior citizen, I guess I am too. Does that happen at 55? Oh my goodness. I don't think about myself like that at all. My goodness gracious me. So I'm like C3PO there. But if you don't see a need to access them for 10 years, yeah, like I said, I think it would, you think it would come back by then, but nobody knows. And so if you want to make sure, and if you want to be safer, or if you want to if it'll make you sleep better at night, if it's in something that can't lose money, unless the entire country, falls like Rome did, then everything's going to be a problem. Then everybody, no matter what you do, is going to have a problem at that point. But so I get it. If you're in this situation, yes. But the advice would be to keep on. You're investing now. That is a huge sale on the market. Illustrious Style 549, advice needed, how to proceed. Don't proceed. Don't proceed. Who is that? That is oh gosh, that's Larry David from Curb Your Enthusiasm when he was on SNL doing Bernie Sanders. Don't proceed. I've done baby steps 1 to 3. Started baby step 4 a couple of years ago. Excellent. I'm still too young for kids, and I don't have a house yet because I'm waiting for a first home investment account to mature in 15 years. Okay. It's a 60K gain for free. Okay, great. Don't know what kind of actual investment that would be, but all right. That could just be a high yield savings account. Who knows? However, in the meantime, that's a Biden right there. However, in the meantime, where you have two, oh gosh, what's that? An adverb? I can't remember what those parts of speech that those are, but it's like, hey, and by the way, that's Dana Carvey doing Biden. Where is that? I'm going to be getting a substantial inheritance, 80 to 100K question mark. I don't know. You would know better than I do. From my grandmother soon, and have no idea what to do with that money and how to utilize it well. Well, if you want to buy a house, hang on to it and combine that with the 60K gain and whatever you did invest to get the 60K gain, and then you put more cash down on it. So that's what you would do, because you're not in any other baby step. You're basically on baby step 7 is what you are. So you started baby step 7, so you are investing. That's step 4. Step 5, kids, no kids. Step 6, there's no house yet. You're just saving the down payment. So basically you're in like 3B and 4, but since you don't have any of the other steps to do, you're in step 7. So you can do whatever you want to with it, but it would be best probably to put that, in the market's super on sale right now. So that's something to consider, but, and especially if you got 15 years before you're even going to buy at all. So you could put that 80 to 100K also in the market, and theoretically it should be up and make you a lot of money by the time 15 years are up. And so, but that's up to you. If you just want to put it in that same investment, or just in a new high yield that won't mature. Like you can take it out anytime you want to. You can do a high yield savings account for that and just use it to pay for the house. And that would be what you would use it for before doing extra investing. You would put all of your money into the house instead of doing extra investing, other than the 15% of gross income. The coupon there. What's a life hack that's so good you're loath to even share it, and it's promoted? That means it's an ad, actually, disguised as a post. Newark. Danny. All right, Danny. Buy a new house or wait, what would you do? Well, what's the situation here? What's the sitch? Buy a new house or wait, what would you do? Current home was purchased 10 years ago. It's over 100 years old. I would say a fixer-upper opportunity then, right? And we have made a few repairs. New driveway, front porch, furnace, water heater, and central AC unit, to name a few. Nothing major. That sounds like major to me, dog. Furnace, water heater, and central AC, a porch, and a new driveway. That sounds major to me. And all were replaced out of necessity, paid cash, no debt incurred. Excellent. And that is the exact way that you do it. I mean, did you need a new driveway? You said it was needed. People always exaggerate needed. Because a lot of times they do stuff and say they need it and they don't need it. They just want it. Let's see, in a month or so, our kids will be out of daycare, and so we will have an extra $2K a month coming in. Where are they going to be going now? To school? Kindergarten? Emergency fund is fully funded. Great. Cards paid off. No other, not debits. A debit and a debt are two different things. There's no I in debit. I mean, there's no I in debt. There is an I in debit. Besides the house. And so options we are thinking are either. And so what a debit is a negative transaction. It subtracts from your account. A debit in your checking account subtracts from the total when you spend money. Debt is something that you owe to somebody. You have borrowed either from the credit card company or the lender or what have you. Let's see. So options we are thinking of are either, and people always come up with the 1 and 2, and then they call the Ramsey show, and then oftentimes Dave has 3 and maybe even 4, maybe even 2 other options that people don't ever think about because normal people don't think the way the Ramsey advice goes. Let's see. So sell current house, use profit as plus some cash if needed, 20% down payment on newer home. This would be with us moving by end of the year if timing allows, but no rush, okay? Well, you wouldn't have 2 mortgages at the same time ever, so you would have to sell and buy at the same time. And of course, you can put a stipulation in that after it sells, you need X amount of time to stay in the house to get packed up and stuff. Let's see. 2, keep current home and pay it off. We think we could accomplish this in about 3 years, only if you're staying there. Yeah, staying here about 5 more years and put an even bigger down payment on newer home. Yeah, Dave would have no problem with you paying it off. So, I mean, if you can pay it off in 3 years, yeah, pay it off. So you would use emergency fund fully funded, okay. And if you're investing, that's fine as well. And then you put extra on the house and pay it off. Yeah, and if you want to move, then you use the equity. But the idea is, so let's see, stay there 5 more years. So it'll be paid off for 2 years, so you won't have a mortgage payment there for 2 years. And then if you end up staying there for whatever reason, then you still have a house to live in and don't have to do anything. But then you can put an even bigger down payment on a newer house. Right, but also you don't have to do a thing where, okay, so we'll pay this off and then we'll have all the equity in this house. and then we'll move and we'll get such a much more expensive house that all of our equity only equals 20%. And so we probably don't need to jump that much up. That would be your lifestyle creep there. And so if you are managing now uh, with this house, you know, they may be moving out of state, maybe, or something like that. Didn't give the full full advice. Was a main reason for wanting to move is space and just being in a nicer place slash neighborhood. Okay, and somebody can take that and a simple thing like that and say, oh yeah, but we also need a pool, and we also want to have 2 rooms apiece, so there are 4 of us, so we got to have something with 8 rooms, obviously, you know, and throwing all other kind of unnecessary stipulations in there, and it ends up being a very simple house. So you're back taking a full loan other than the 20% down payment, and that is not the idea behind the baby steps. Now you can certainly upgrade your house, sure, but the idea that you are constantly upgrading houses and getting going back into mortgage debt again, that is not the idea behind the baby steps. The idea behind the baby steps is better. The idea would be that you use your equity plus money you save up in cash to buy the other home completely, if not just trading in a mortgage where you owe X amount for another mortgage you own X amount, but it's a bigger house because you have used your savings and equity towards it. So yeah, you're trying not to always be having a mortgage like people always be trying to have, to be paying off a phone always on financing, or buying a new car every 2 or 3 years. That is not the advice. So what would I do if I buy a new house? Or wait, you wait. You don't need to rush it. I mean, the whole thing is that it was because to be in a better neighborhood, nicer or whatever, and also for space, didn't seem like, doesn't seem like you're doing any having troubles now, especially because you put all those repairs into it. And why would you do that if you didn't have enough space in there? That would not be logical. So that makes me think, I always question on the need for people to do something because they think they need it. I mean, I'm sure they want it, but that doesn't mean you should do it all the time just because you want it. Now, granted, being on the baby steps that they're on, says they don't have any other debt, that puts you in a better position to buy things that you want, though, of course. Genuine question, not a fake one, not a fake question here. This is who? EV Ushi. General card, help is needed. All right, help will be given. I live in the bloody UK. 26 female. Currently on maternity leave. Alrighty, I'm about to clear all my debt besides student finance, which I have realized in the US is very different. I'm 80K in debt in student finance. I do not see this money as it gets taken straight away from the pay without hitting my account, right? And then they may or may not let it go if you pay on it for 30 years. Do you want to do that? Really? The advice is to pay that off. But maternity leave, well, I mean, if you're home from the hospital, it's too late for stork mode, I guess. So you would continue to do the baby steps, but you should have paused baby steps and just piled up cash during that time until you got home safely with baby. Everyone confirms that everybody agrees. It's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me. That there is no need to pay off student loans early. Not everyone confirms that. No, Mr. Ramsey does not confirm that. Mr. Ramsey says you took it out. You should pay it back. and it was a mistake to take it out to begin with. And it's even worse as after a couple of years it writes off itself. All that's justification station for I don't want to pay it off. I'm just wondering whether I am still okay to proceed with the steps without paying off student finance early. You can do whatever you want to with your life and your money, ma'am. 90% majority do not make repayments early. Yep, because they let the government pay for it. So you're letting your other fellow citizens pay for you going to school. And so if you're fine with that, I guess you can do what you want to do. That's not the Ramsey advice. The repayments do not harm me as they are 20 to 100 quid max a month. Yeah. Please be kind. I'm new to the plan. Oh, righty. How many people? 10 people. So maybe somebody told her that Dave would say pay it off. But also, most people are like, oh, if I can get out of this, if I don't have to pay off something, you know, I can just, it's the same thing. Oh, I'll just declare bankruptcy. No big whoop. No big whoop. I'll just declare bankruptcy. No problem. Or I just have to have this debt for 30 years and then eventually it'll get written off. But that's not the Ramsey advice. So, but you can do what you want her. Yeah, I was thinking about that. Tash or Tosh, Tash. Hey, young lady from England, I believe, somewhere in the UK. It's in the Ramsey Show chat, and she's like all about Ramsey expanding there and so forth. That's going to be like that would be one of the things that would be a problem because, as you said, how many? What is it? 90 some percent only pay the minimums and ride the clock out on that so that it gets forgiven, and that wouldn't go along with the Ramsey plan. So, that much government subsidizing your life doesn't work with the Ramsey plan. So, I mean, all the general principles, of course, are good, and if this 26-year-old lady, if she and her son or daughter follow the rest of the advice, even with letting that not doing what she should do, which is pay off the student loan, if she doesn't do that and follows all of the other advice, she'll be better off than if she didn't follow any of the advice, for sure, though. But that's not the advice. The advice is to pay off money that you borrow. Security Legion, rent or buy. Baby step 4, flare. Hi all, my fiance and I are getting married in November. Great. And wanted to know if we should be looking to rent or buy. I'm planning on applying to medical school next year, leaving us on her salary, a teacher, so not great. I know Dave would probably say rent. Well, then we don't have to keep typing then. I know Dave would say rent, but I want to do what I want to do. However, that would likely leave us renting for 5+ years. Yeah. And if you're not in a position to buy a house, that's what you would do. The obvious drawbacks of buying would be any emergency repairs. That likely wouldn't be possible on a teacher's salary. Indeed, any advice on this, thanks in advance. So you're on baby step 4, so you don't have any debt. So theoretically you would be fine, but you also have to save up the down payment. And how are you paying for? Is medical school all paid for? If you have to pay for that as well, this is the normal thing that happens on this subreddit every single day and happens in calls on the Ramsey Show every single day. People want to do everything all at the same time. And in this situation, it's only 2 things, but that's still too many things. Because it's 2 very, very expensive things, buying a house And I mean, even just saving the down payment and funding medical school, again, unless it's completely paid for. If only if it's completely paid for is the only way I would even consider this. But otherwise, you cannot do that all at the same time. And if you're planning on taking out debt to go to medical school, that would be a no, and you're out of the Ramsey. You're not on any baby steps because you're not doing his advice. So you're not doing the baby steps. Regardless of what baby step you think you're not on it because you're doing it wrong. So I would I would need more clarification on the medical school. I mean, if that's all paid for, or if it already has the money for it, or whatever. If he's working for someone who is paying for it, then that's fine. That's more doable, but it still may be an issue. Working on one person's salary, and you said it's not so great. So I mean, that's what you got to do. So it has to be the mortgage payment has to be 25% of the teacher's net take-home pay. So yeah. So yeah, probably rent. Doesn't say anything about moving. So if this is all in the same city, that could be possible as well. So there's just a lot of times there's like a couple other details that we would need to actually and give a good answer to the question. But I addressed all the things that should be thought about in this case. And so the idea is that you should let things that affect your income going down affect how many things you're trying to do with money. You're trying to spend money on at the same time. That certainly should affect it, and not just, oh well, we're gonna be down one salary because I'm going to be going to medical school, but I still want to buy a house. Yeah, you cannot do everything all at the same time. You're limited by the amount of your income, my friend. Is how it works. Or didn't they teach you that in medical school? Or regular college, if you want to. I think you got to go to regular college first, right? Bogglehead Padawan. All right, I think I've seen that one before on here. How to attach this debt and get my financial situation under control. All right, so this will be attack. This should be a K and not an H there. Attach and attack are two different words. My current financial situation and my feeling of regret, being behind, and debt payoff. Okay, and then that's when you would have a verb after that. So it would be my current financial situation and my feeling of regret, being behind, and debt payoff are what is the current are the current situation is the current situation that I'm in, are currently what I'm feeling, something like that there. But all right, I'm looking for any and all advice that anyone can provide. Maybe it's not as bad as I think, maybe it's not. Or feel, I feel like, for me, I don't know, my wife 34 female and I 33 man have been married for 7 years. Congratulations, we have one 5-year-old daughter. Excellent. My wife has been a registered nurse at our local hospital for 10 years and has been, oh, there's more, of course there's more, and has been part-time since our daughter was born, and that's what's going to happen, yes. Because the income goes down. So you need to not be dumb and continue to spend the same amount of money you did when you had two full-time, right? Two full-time incomes. You need to not be dumb and do that, but most people are dumb and do that. Started my career late in life due to not being driven in my early 20s. All right, that means lazy, being lazy. But have since been working for about 6 years in my field. Out here in the field, we fight for our meals. Fight for a government subcontractor and I just moved to a new position at our local national lab about 7 months ago. Great. Hope it wasn't Hawkins Lab. Stranger Things reference there. It was around 2021 that I really started thinking about investing. All right, that's good. You started investing. If you started investing before I did. My wife grew up very poor, and the extent of my parents' financial education they provided to me was put 10% of your pay into savings. That's better than I got, dog. My parents told me you'll always have a car payment, you'll always be in debt, and they were incorrect about that. Eventually, I tried to make them right for a long time, but eventually I wised up. I never learned about high yield savings accounts, Roth IRAs, etc. until I started learning for myself. Right, that's what you got to do. You got to figure out, oh, hey, this is pretty important. Maybe I should look into it instead of watching more cat videos. My wife and I were both in TDFs. Some kind of fund. I don't remember what the TD part of, but funds in our employer-based 401k plan. Target date funds. Figured it out. Yes, not today, dementia. Not today. Not today. Not today. Not today. I don't remember who sang that song. That was yesterday. Nope. Something about yesterday, though. I can't remember her name. Anyway, yeah, so maybe dementia today. In our employee-based 401k plans, contributing just over what our company matched. And I had started to put a little bit away into a Roth IRA. Everything was fine. I felt behind at that time, but still felt good knowing that I had 35 years to go. Yes, income, 125 per year. Wife 60, so 185 per year. Okay. We made 156K last year due to the new job. I took was a 30% pay increase. Congratulations on that. I made less than what I project to make this year. Got it. I cover medical, dental, vision, FSA. Like some kind of insurance, independent FSA. Can't think of what that is. Some kind of insurance, I would assume. Plus $80 a month to the 401k loan. Why did you take a loan out on it, dude? You're doing it wrong. That will be paid off in August. My wife is part-time, so she doesn't carry any benefits, right? Savings retirement, just like many, the current economic climate has really damaged my retirement funds. You know what damaged your financial situation already, though? Is that dumbass 401k loan you took out. That was bad. What up, Joy? In the state up north, I'm showing 40 degrees here right now. And I guess we would be the state down under. So it was nice and sunny today, though. I was out in it for a little while. Oh, let's see. Where are we? So that was bad, and that is worse than the current economy, today's world, all that other crap that people say to justify doing dumb things. Justification station. Shout out George Camel. But being fairly young, I am trying to see the benefit in being able to accumulate at cheaper prices for the time being. Yeah, okay, so what your dumb butt would not do is invest while you're not on step 4 yet. Guess what? Your freaking 401k loan is step 2 debt because you did it wrong. What dumb thing did you have to do where you had to take out a loan on your 401k? So that's a NAR. My Australian friends will know what I'm talking about there. And probably everybody, because it sounds a lot like no. Where are we at? Being physically benefits being able to accumulate cheaper costs for the time being. Right. Yeah, the market's on sale. But that should not affect you if you're following Dave's advice, because you would be buying up or down. And so, since you would still be buying in today's world and the economy, you would still be buying. So, you would get the advantage of buying at these cheaper prices. For sure. Auto transfer into savings. And that's a no. That's a no. You do not have extra savings while you still have step 2 debt. You're doing it wrong. And I don't understand how people don't understand this. You know, they look at the baby steps and they think, oh, yeah, we got to do all of those all at the same time. That's dumb as crap. How can you look at a list and say, oh, we're supposed to do all of these at the same time? They just want to, is what the deal is. Let's see. What kind of crap do we have to say here? 10% contribution with 3.5% match. Yeah, that's a no. You don't even get the match while you pay off your dumbass 401k loan. I have the contribution percentage from the minimum to 10% 6 months ago, while we had still a 401k loan. That is dumb as crap, sir. 100% in Install 500. I don't know what that is. Index fund. Index funds are not recommended for retirement. Should be managed mutual funds that beat the index even after you subtract the higher expense ratio. Don't care that it's Vanguard. It's fine. That, like I said, the cost basis, the expense ratio, fees, whatever you want to call those, it's 0.1%. For that index fund there, but you can buy also manage mutual funds from them that aren't that much either, less than 1%, and the good ones make more than that 1%, so you are beating it. You're beating the index even after you subtract this cost basis. So a lot of people use the higher expense ratio to justify getting the index funds, but you still make more money even after you subtract the additional costs. So that makes it worth it. I don't really care about the breakdown of the wife's 401k. Again, index fund, that's a NAR for Mr. Ramsey on that. Daughter 529, you also wouldn't be doing step 5 while you had step 2 debt. So you're doing it wrong, in case we didn't know. Roth IRA, 0. You would be doing that before, after the match, then Roth, and then back to your 401k. But first, we got to pay off the dumbass 401k loan. 2025 FA. Oh, is that farmer? Wait a minute. Oh, for basic medical expenses. Okay. What would FSA be? FSA medical. Let me see what that is. Just flexible spending account. Okay. All right. Gotcha. All right. Okay. So that's fine, because you're doing that for basic medical anyway. Okay. So no problem with that. Dependent FSA as well. Acorns account. No. See, quit. People want to do all this dumb shit. I hate to use the word shit, but that's what it is. Using some kind of, any app like this, like Acorns, it's just trendy. It's just trendy stuff. Oh, I should put a little bit in there. No, that's dumb as crap. And that's probably single stocks as well. Let's see. No, the Standard Acorns ETF, a grouping of the Vanguard, S&P 500 is VU. So, yeah, so everything you're doing here is bad. Are we going to have, talk to us? We might have to. Let's see. Lastly, for retirement, I'm enrolled in a company pension plan that I will be 100% vested into after 5 years of employment. Okay, so what you're contributing to that pension only counts for half towards the 15% of gross income that you should be investing, but you shouldn't do any of that while you have step 2 debt. Okay, no car payments. Thank goodness they were going to get you notes there, telling you everything you're doing is bad, and they still may get it. So great. The plan is to drive a Civic until death. That's great. It's fine. Great. That part you're doing good. About 17K in government student loans. Alrighty. They've earned it, right? Smart.
If everything you're doing is bad, I want you to know this.
Alright. So, yeah. They're doing it wrong, but the problem is this is so normal for people to be all doing all this dumb crap. It's so normal. Oh, credit cards too. Credit cards too. Okay, so guess what? There's no investing for you for a while until all this. So here's how it works, okay? So what we're land loan, bills. This was some rounding and whatever. What? Okay, so the person wanted advice, right? Let's go back up to the thing. I'm done reading stuff that because everything that you can possibly do wrong, this person is doing wrong. And it says here now. He says he is attached to the debt because he's not paying it off fast enough. So it is an attachment. So made a mistake probably typing, but it actually is correct. So and get the financial situation under control. So I don't know if you're familiar with Mr. Ramsey, but he has a subreddit here. Oh wait, you're on it. And the what would Dave do Flair? He wouldn't do any of the dumb crap that you're doing. He would say follow the baby steps. The baby steps are right here and they tell you exactly what to do. Steps 1, 2, and 3, one at a time before even thinking about other steps. So there's no investing. There's no 529 for the baby. There is no paying off house. There's no buying a house if you didn't already have that before you discovered Dave. So everything you're doing is bad. Do not do that. And I feel like, for me, this one is such a good one that you're going to get the other two as well.
You're doing it wrong.
You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong.
Right. And the fun thing about that, yes, I realize that's incorrect English. It should be, you're doing it incorrectly. But the fact that it's, it was in the movie, Mr. Mom, and also George said it that day. I just looped it, so he says it 3 times. He said it 1 time, though, and I was tickled by that. That was so fun that day for me, because I've been saying you're doing it wrong a long time from the movie. So yeah, so the answer would be to just stop typing all and doing all this dumb crap, and you follow the baby steps. That you throw all of your crap out. You throw all of this. Everything you're doing right now is bad. You throw all of that out and you start from the beginning and do the baby steps. So theoretically, they have $1,000 already in your savings account, and your acorns and all your other dumb crap that you're doing. You have a lot of money that you can apply to those debts. And so do that. And you don't save more than $1,000. You have not a penny over $1,000 while you are still saving your full emergency fund. All right? And so there's no investing. You stop investing. You stop putting money in a 529. You stop paying extra on the house if you're doing that too. So you got to get your dumbass debt paid off. So you're doing it wrong, and I'd like to live in a world where this is just a troll, and it very well could be. This is a lot of, you got to appreciate the commitment though to type all this stuff to be a troll. So if that's the true, but the problem is this is all too normal, which makes me really sad. So sad. List feels like it's 20. Yep. Sorry, Joy. I got off on a little rant there and missed your question. Didn't see what you retracted there. Money allocation advice. This is from Outrageous Ad. 6563. I don't know why they have ads in there. AD. I don't know. That might stand for something. Alternate username. I don't know what I don't know. Alternate designation. I don't know what it could be, but it probably means something like that because so many usernames have the AD in there. Maybe that's just what is. If you have Reddit's suggest one, maybe that is. I don't know. Money allocation advice. Okay, so again, it's probably answered right in the baby steps. Imagine that. Right in the baby steps. Hi everyone. Hi guys. Here's a brief of my situation. Currently 23 years old, self-employed, and make about 15 to 25K a month profit. That's a lot. That's good. That's a good self-employment. Congratulations. After expenses. Okay, that's great. Zero debt. That's better. No mortgage. Running now. That's fine. Assets. SEP IRA. That's self-employed IRA. $30,000. Taxable brokerage. 32K. High yield. Should do a SEP Roth if you can. Brokerage 32K, high yield savings 150K. Personal checking 10K, monthly expenses 1,800, rent 1,000 a month, living expenses. Okay, so that's 2,800, and makes 15 to 25,000. Where's the rest of the money going, dog? Buying a house is in the foreseeable 2.5 years, around 450 to 650K. All right. My main question is, what should I be doing with that money in my high yield savings account? If it's going to be 5 years, the market will probably be up by then. And so that's it. But the closer it is to 2 years, you would just keep that in a high yield savings instead of putting it in the market. So that way you can pounce if you want to buy closer to 2 years. And then what should I be doing with all the extra income after rent? Rent and putting it all in the balance between investing and step 3B, which is the down payment. That's up to you for 2 years. You can even do zero investing for 2 years if you want to save up a larger down payment faster, which that would be fine. So, but that's completely up to you what you do there. Extra income after living expenses are paid, and any other money management tips. Yeah, definitely budget. A lot of people that make a lot of money do not think they have to budget. You do. You should budget even more because it's easier to just have a little bit go away. That little bit that goes away every month that is too small to bother with for some people, that does add up eventually. And so you are at more danger than someone that doesn't make a lot because it's less to keep track of and they have a better idea of where it's going to. So the more you make, the more intentional you have to be. So budgeting never ends. So that would be the thing, to budget and to, as I said, looking to see if you can do a Roth SEP IRA for that. And the taxable brokerage, I mean, why you would have more in that, I don't know, unless that's maybe that's the part of that is the down payment savings. Maybe as it's split between high yield savings and that, I don't know. Maybe it's just extra. Oh, and maybe because the IRA, maybe it's the limit per year is why that is lower than the taxable brokerage. And so yeah. So that's what I would say to do on that. Unless you are definitely going to wait 5 years, I would not try to use the market for a piggy bank, even though it's on super sale right now and you could come out way, way, way ahead. Nobody knows though for sure. So that would just be keeping a high yield savings account and save up as much as you can. Don't spend extra money on stuff that you don't need to do. You can also look at your expenses with your food, gas, utilities, insurance, etc. Anything you spend money on, you can look at and see, is that needed, or can I save up more down payment and that will equal less mortgage. So that would be the advice there. What time is it? Oh, it is done today. So financial situation needs some advice going forward. What am I missing? We'll look into that tomorrow from Common Alone 2372. Once again, I am Coach Steve Money. I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. I'll be doing at 7 p.m. Eastern tonight. I will be doing, what will I be doing? Oh, another stream of The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered. What was that one? That one was almost 5 hours. The second one was, and the third one was almost 5.5 hours. The first one's over almost 5.5 hours. Then almost 5 hours was the second one, and almost 5 hours. 2 seconds off between the second and the third one, as far as length of it. And so I'll be doing stream 4 tonight. It's going to be a short one because then I got to do the Curse of Oak Island recap. At that, so it's only going to be like an hour and a half. 7 to 8:30 Eastern time is when I'll be doing tonight's stream of The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered. Its first time on PC. It came out on PC last Thursday. And what was I doing? Oh yeah, I was saying about the channel. Yeah, of course, please like, subscribe, and comment. And you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation with me at calendly.com/coachstevemoney. That link is in the ticker below and also in the video description. And you can email me at coachstevemoney@gmail.com about any financial questions or anything on my YouTube channel. Donations can go to paypal.me/coachstevemoney. Alternatively, the Cash App at $CoachSteveMoney, or Walmart gift card to, again, that same email address, coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Upcoming streams, this stream, the Ramsey Show, Aftershow show. And that is Monday through Fridays, until further notice, Monday through Fridays at 5:27 p.m. Eastern Time. And that is when the Ramsey Show leaves the YouTubes and I take over on the YouTubes with the fabulous advice Mr. Ramsey has given us. Also, upcoming streams, probably nightly, and a lot more on the weekend. Doing The Last of Us Part 2 gameplay remastered PC edition, and I'll continue that until it's done. Hopefully it can be done with that by the time the season 2 of The Last of Us on the artist formerly known as HBO Max, now just called Max, and that starts on the 13th, I believe, which is, I think, a Tuesday. No, maybe not, maybe a Thursday. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Again, please subscribe, like, that's the thumbs up button, and comment. And as always, make smart financial decisions every day.